Man, we almost had 4,000 viewers yesterday.
Hey. Good morning, Faith Room.
Did it again.
No, you did it again. Oh my God. Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing?
Just cut it out.
Good morning. I love my team.
All kinds of shenanigans going on backstage. Bring it to the front.
Prophet Old Cat, what was the rule? Let us know when you hit
it. Get ready to go. Here we go. She said it. Now, I gotta stick with Cherie today. She said, "Here we go."
Where are your ears at? Did you bring your man? Did we say last week, bring your man with you? Come to God's house. Bring your man in here.
Yeah.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, Faith Room. How y'all doing?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What kind of day is it, Prophet O?
Wow, it is going to be a thankful or Thanksgiving Tuesday.
Thanksgiving Tuesday. I like that.
Thanksgiving Tuesday.
I like
it.
Yeah.
I like
y'all come on in, declare your day and share. Declare and share. Y'all know how we do it.
Jermaine says it's a teachable Tuesday.
Yes, ma'am.
JJ.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. I'm tagging on my end. Today's going to be a great day.
Yes.
I'm tagging on my end.
Y'all come on in.
All right.
Declare your day. Share this stream on your page.
Yes.
So that we can hit as many people as possible. We want to get this word out. That's what it's all about.
And who cares if they get mad that you tagging them? Who cares?
Because one day they're gonna click and see why they keep tagging me and what is this?
They don't know. Now you know. Come on in, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Film says it's a terrific traveling temperature raising Tuesday.
Come on.
Come on.
All right.
Carla, where you preach
temperature?
Where you preach at, Carla? You sound like a preacher.
All that alliteration,
yeah.
Miss Lynn Turner back in the building. Pastor Herman Anthony.
Lay said, I don't care at all. Keep tagging anyway.
Miss Doretha, what's happening?
Yeah, it's a Tag 'em Tuesday.
Tag 'em
Tuesday.
Tag 'em Tuesday.
Tag 'em Tuesday. What's up, y'all?
Who? Allegra Merchant.
She was tagging somebody.
Oh, she was tagging somebody.
Okay. Okay.
See, there you go. It's Tag 'em
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Come on, get yourself. Come on.
No, I need it. I was like, did you want to sell me some?
Have you had your coffee?
I'm gonna get to it in a minute.
All right,
it's here. It's present.
All right. Sharon Newburn. Tag 'em Tuesday. That's it. All right, y'all. Listen. I'm excited about.
Somebody says try again Tuesday.
Try again. Come on. I'll take that.
Yeah, we learned last week that it's not the falling down that counts you a failure. It's staying down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it, sir.
So when you get back up, you try again.
That's it, sir.
And I believe that's even a word for somebody right now.
Starting off, Prophet.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Prophet.
You started something. It didn't happen the way you thought it would happen, but God is saying, try it again. Try it again.
I like that, Pastor KJ.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, y'all. Come on in. Yeah. 122. Yeah.
122.
You see how these numbers get up to past 100 so quickly these days?
That's because we raised our goal, our standard. So our standard 200, so we get over 100 quickly.
Yeah.
And that speaks a lot to the
fight of Tuesday, Pearl. That's it.
Yeah.
In spite of Tuesday.
Yeah. Miss Pearl, I just have one question for you. Are you still drinking your water?
I ain't saw no water posted.
Listen, I started to post mine yesterday, but I was like, I ain't gonna bother nobody because ain't nobody posting. So.
I ain't seen no water in a week, y'all.
Miss Pearl, I just wanted now Alder woman, you're gonna have to stay hydrated in them San Diego streets, representing the people.
Where's the water? All right.
Okay,
let's get rolling today, y'all. I gotta log off in about 10 minutes. So I don't need y'all acting funny. Like, why don't you even log on? Because I miss y'all. I wanted to see you.
That's it. We just want to show our face sometimes.
But I got a team, so we ain't worried about nothing. So it's all good. Cherie, yesterday was powerful. What's up, sis?
Hey. Yesterday was very powerful. Let me put my coffee down. Yesterday was very powerful, and I hate that I had to log off.
Man.
The little bit I got was so on point. As a matter of fact, it was so good, I logged off later than I was supposed to. But hey, all is well.
But you made it on time.
Yeah.
So Charity was
the bomb.
What got me is she, like you said, she had all her points laid out, her scriptures, but y'all got to none of that because God said something else. God always knows who's in the room, who needs to hear what, and so I'm just glad she was a willing vessel, a yielded vessel.
Absolutely. Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do today. I want to ask the facilitators, everybody, Cherie, Prophet O, Prophet Kadrick, what stood out to you yesterday with Charity? And I did want to talk about to the room. I want to ask you what stood out yesterday.
Y'all get y'all answers ready too.
Yeah. Get your answers ready to type in. Prophet O, man, we were talking all day yesterday in chat, and we just couldn't let it go. What hit you yesterday, man? What resonated? And then you could tag team with the Prophet Cad. What hit you, man?
Oh man, just divorcing yourself from your issues. That hit me like a ton of bricks.
Divorcing yourself from your issues.
Yeah, me and my wife had been talking, and I told my wife during my study time, God had beginning to show me the word divorce, but then she added on to that sentence yesterday. She brought it to full understanding as to what we're to divorce ourselves from, and that's what blew me away. Pastor Cam, what about you, sir?
Yeah, the part that keeps ringing in my ear is when she said, "It's still ugly to me, but it don't stop God from using it for His glory." That part, and that speaks, number one, to God's ability to use ugly stuff to give Him glory. And it speaks to number two. Yeah, that's just amazing how God can take. And I think about the potter, Jeremiah, when he goes down to the potter's house and he says, "I saw the work in the wheel on the wheel of the potter, in the hand of the potter, and that the vessel was marred in the hand of the potter."
Come on, man. Right.
It was marred. It was shabby. It was broken, but God was still using that to teach.
Yeah.
He uses broken things. He uses wounded things. He uses things that we would despise to get His glory. That's what amazes me. And then in number two, it speaks to her yieldedness. The fact that even though she still sees it as ugly, she still says, "God, nevertheless."
Yeah.
Let's hit some of these comments. Jerica, we go on here. The fact that she was so transparent, her answer applies to any situation we may be facing.
Yes.
Somebody else said transparency. She was awesome. Marva said she was awesome. I like that. T Woods, when she said she had to get everything out, and she told God how she felt, broke all the way down.
Yeah.
Totally.
How many people would admit that they said that stuff to
Right.
Yeah.
But once she got it off her chest, she went back to Father, Lord, I love you. I thank you, God. But she just had to get that out.
Let it go.
Yeah.
But
have y'all ever been mad with God like that? Have y'all ever had a moment where you were upset with God because He didn't remove something or He allowed something?
I'm gonna say this.
I can't say I've been mad, but I have been in a very confused place. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
The reason why when she said that I said it was so freeing is because I've been under teachings where you're not allowed to be angry with God. It's like blasphemy for you to be angry with God. Right. And so you hold so much in, and then because you're holding so much in, you're not being real. You're not being authentic with God. And I love what Elder always says, if you can't be true, God can't bless it.
Yeah,
say it the way you know to say it, Elder.
Huh?
Say it the way you know to say it. You say it in a manner of, if I cannot be true, if I can't be authentic, then God can't.
I always say he can't heal who you hide. What you hide.
I love that. I love that statement.
You gotta be true so he can get to the real you and let's deal with this. He can heal your transparency. That's what he wants.
Wow.
Derwin says what she said about the damage that was done, about people not loving you due to infirmities. I've been a big dude all my life, and in younger years where people have told me girls will not love me because of my weight, then even while having a girlfriend, it still felt the same in my mind that I really couldn't be loved while in a relationship. So I sabotaged so many relationships by thought. Y'all, when she talked about that, how the dude when they was in elementary,
right,
said what he said. Now she done had she done been on dates. Guys desired her, but that one sentence still played in her mind. That's the power of words.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Gee, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
Girls wouldn't love me because of my weight.
Wow.
It's a bunch of us that say that's a lie. We can go ahead and be who you're gonna be. So.
It's amazing.
I'm trying to hold my pettiness here because I'm about to ask you a real question. But anyway.
You like them?
Lord Jesus.
All right.
What were you gonna say? And I see you, Dwayne. I see you, man. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's amazing what people can say that sticks with us and cause us to think a certain way about ourselves that is totally contrary to the will of God. It's amazing the damage that it does because of what they've said.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Nick Tilton.
Look at what Nick said.
Nick said, and God doesn't need to be transparent because he needs to hear it. It's because you need to say it out loud.
Wow.
Right.
Nick, you be dropping some stuff too, bro. Don't think I won't. Nick.
Yeah, I be seeing Nick stuff.
Dwayne Stewart said,
he said, what stood out to me was how she brought to light what we blame people for not having faith when the healing doesn't happen through us, and how damaging that was to her.
Yes, I love that. How she talked about how preachers will go and pray for her, praying for her to be healed, and then tell her it was because she didn't have enough faith.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is so sadistic,
man.
But it's so prevalent in the body of Christ.
Come on, man.
You know how people will tell you that it's because you don't have enough faith, man. Do you know it took faith for me to get up out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
It took faith for me to come in here in the condition that I'm in, and then you tell me that it's because I don't have faith.
Yeah, that's real. I like what she said, man, about just the fact that I think she's at a point where she's cool with herself now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's okay with the situation with her foot and how she walks. She's okay with it now. And that helped me, because sometimes, y'all, we have to be okay with what will not change.
Yeah.
Since this is gonna be my life.
You know, I shared with you guys behind closed doors pertaining to my own son and his affliction. And the thing I love about my son was the fact that even as a little kid, he never let it hinder him. He will always be in races. He was always doing things, so he never allowed that to hinder him. Wow. That's what I love of his mentality was, it may look different, I may be different, but I'm not.
It don't define me.
Not at all.
Wow. How many of y'all are dealing with stuff you don't like about you? Because we're gonna talk about it this week. I'm about to log off. So let me say my last part before I go. How many of you? Because I'm telling you, I think back like Big Derwin. I'm smaller now, man. But in middle school, man, I was big, man. I had a growth spurt that brought height to me, but I was short, and I remember going in my grandmother's drawer, finding girdles to put on. Y'all know them white girdles look like them panties, the pantyhose, the ones that go up to here. I would, in the 7th, 8th grade, I was putting on a girdle, man.
Wow.
And I want to know, I mean, and again, I can talk about it now because there's freedom in who you are. And again, things back then, years ago, when people made jokes or whatever, man, that stuff, if you're not strong enough, it stays with you. How many of you are dealing with stuff you don't like about you? Not just physically, life.
Right.
Nelly says her height. Are you tall or short?
That's good. I mean, keep it real, man.
Yeah.
Look, y'all, I love y'all. I gotta go. Y'all handle it. I gotta go.
All right. Love you, Pastor Nate.
Love y'all. Y'all take care.
Have a blessed day.
All right.
Yeah.
So people are raising their hand. Swante, she says, but I'm doing something about it. That's it.
Okay. Good.
God wants us all to get to the point that our acceptance is based on our faith in him. The enemy reminds us all day how inefficient we are.
Yeah.
That's good.
I was on a room in on the Clubhouse app. Clubhouse is a new audio app where people come in, gather, connect, and talk, and so kind of like we do here. I was in a conversation with people who none of them were born in the U.S., right? But they're all of African descent. But none of them were born in the U.S. And they talked about how even in Africa and in Haiti, colorism is an issue, right? And certain people will make you feel a certain way because of your skin tone, even among us as African Americans. And so sometimes that's an area of shame. And they talked about how it made them feel ashamed and feel like they needed to adjust themselves, and how even in Africa, you have people who bleach their skin, trying to become lighter, and things that even their parents say, don't stay outside because you're going to get too dark, right? And so that's an area that I think sometimes causes people shame, among African Americans, that we don't even realize, how much of a damage that does.
Yeah. See, I didn't know. I know that was a thing growing up. Thank God, I never dealt with it. But like, I know some of my cousins who are, most of my family, we're my color or darker. But some of I remember hearing stories of some of my cousins talking about how they got picked on because they were dark skinned, or I remember when my teenage cousins they were doing the bleaching the skin on their. I remember that esoterica. I remember all that stuff. And so I didn't know that was still a thing. But sometimes people make a difference if you're the darkest one in the family or in the house. Remember, Oprah Winfrey said her grandmother made her sleep on the porch because she was too dark to sleep in the house.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really bad. I'm put a pin right there. Let me address Nelly. Nelly is tall and she has an insecurity about that. She's 6'1". Pastor Cadrick, would you please tell her, am I tall or short?
Cherie is tall.
I'm 6'1", barefoot.
Yeah.
And y'all see, I stay in stilettos. I can't help it that I'm tall.
Yeah.
So you gotta, hey, this is what I've been dealt in life.
Yeah.
I
what you
11 shoes. So I just gotta make sure I'm there on Tuesdays when all the 11s come in, because they don't send but about 2 boxes. So you got to get there with the truck.
So what you say, y'all tall, fly, and saved, right?
Tall, fly, saved chick. That's me.
Yeah.
So yeah, embrace it, ma'am. And I share this with a lot of tall girls that are growing up, because a lot of times society will try to make you feel bad because you're taller maybe than the average guy. And so they tend to walk slumped over,
Wow.
And then they wear flats all the time. If you don't like flats, you don't have to wear them. Because here's my thing. If he wants to get with me, then you just gonna have to get on my level.
Right. Come on, say it again.
Wait, what? You know my level.
What you're trying to tell me is if God bless you with a short man, he's gonna need to get some platform shoes. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
God ain't gonna do me that. He ain't gonna do that to me. I'm talking like I'm from Louisiana. God ain't gonna do me that. God ain't gonna do that to me.
Right. He give you the desire of your heart.
You know what I want? I can't do nothing with no short man. Nothing against
I'm
short
gonna leave it
people.
alone.
I'm not bashing short people.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Come on, just bring it back in.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
I'm back.
I'm gonna leave it
I'm just
alone.
saying, I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but if you're a short man, realize that you are still enough, sir.
You are enough
You are still enough
for them.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I love you. Sorry.
You know,
This is going to the left. Somebody please take over.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting.
Take it. Take it.
To God be the glory.
Yes, sir.
I'm just waiting.
Somebody take it because this is going to the left.
Yeah.
I just asked the question.
No, but Nelly, I just want you to know you're good. You're enough.
Yeah.
All short, whatever. I'm really just having fun. But yeah. You're enough. However God made us, that's what we got to deal with. If we inherited our parents' big nose, if we inherited the big hips and they won't go away, ladies, we just got to rock with it. Yeah. You're enough.
And literally, that's what she was trying to tell us yesterday.
Yeah.
This is the way God made me. And it's to his glory, it's to his liking. This is how God made me.
Right. I think about the Shunammite in Solomon, right? Mm-hmm. So she was in her family. Her brothers even said that she was dark, right? Yeah. And they wanted to put her to the side. But Solomon, when he found her, he said that she was the apple of his eye. She was the one he preferred above all. And so that story, even though it's about passionate lovemaking, that story is a picture of how God loves us and he pursues us regardless of what other people think about us, regardless of how other people make us feel, regardless of how other people have stigmatized us. We are still enough. And God uses everything,
excuse me,
everything that we are for his glory.
Everything. Yeah.
Everything.
And he knew he did this. I mean, it didn't surprise God.
Right.
Whatever we're shameful about, it didn't surprise him. We're this way for a reason.
Yes.
We're this way. And so you just got, embrace it. I know this probably is easier said than done, but you got to embrace it. Yes. Because a lot of times you will get teased, because kids are cruel. But even I think adults are childish sometimes,
Yes.
And will try to make you feel a certain way. But you don't have to wear that. Every jacket that's been presented, you ain't got to wear that jacket.
Yeah, you walk into a room and your auntie say, "Oh, you fat."
Oh yeah. They say, "Yeah, you getting so big."
Yeah, I know how it is when you go to the family reunions, go to Christmas. Yeah. Yeah. But God wants to use everything that you are for his glory. And so that's what we're going to be talking about this week. And we're going to be talking about you are enough.
Yes.
You are enough. You are enough. And you have to begin to say that to yourself, that I am enough. God designed me the way that I am, whether it be in my thinking, whether it be in my built, in the way I'm built, the way I'm made, whether it be the family I came from, wherever I am, God uses us the way we are. So that's what we're talking about this week. I am enough.
And here's our base scripture. It comes from Isaiah 61 verse 7. And it says, instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion. And instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. And so you will inherit a double portion in your land, and everlasting joy will be yours.
Come on.
So for your shame, listen, you don't have to wear that.
No.
And you know what, people may have said, shame on you. But I want to say today, shame off you.
Yeah, come on.
You have to wear that. Shame off you.
Amen.
I know.
Come on.
I'm saying shame on you, but no, today we are declaring shame off you. Type that in the comments.
That's a t-shirt.
We don't have to. Come on now. We don't have to wear that. No more shame. Jesus didn't die for us to walk around shame.
That's a t-shirt. Rhea, I think you need to make that.
Shame off you.
Put on and then scratch the on off with the red line, and then put off.
Come on.
Put that scripture. That's come on. Shame off you. Shame does not live here in me anymore.
And it's a sermon too, I believe.
It is.
There's some preaching.
Come on. Shame off you.
But let's look at it now. Let's look at what he said now when he talks about that. You know, he goes into it and he goes and he says, because, and I'm gonna read it from what I have. He says, because your shame was double. Your shame was double. Now, when we began to talk about shame, of course, I had to go look up the definition to really understand the purpose by which shame is put upon a person by the enemy. So it says shame is a painful emotion caused by conscience of guilt, shortcoming, or impropriety. The feeling becomes internalized to create a belief that leads you to define yourself as being bad, wrong, or damaged.
Now break that down for us.
In other words, what shame does is it causes you to think about yourself in a negative way. And not only do you think about yourself in a negative way, then you begin to internalize and then you begin to manifest what you are thinking. So when a person begins to think that they are wrong, when I begin to think about this, I begin to think about what we talked about. Somebody could say something that shames you. And because it shames you, you now begin to believe that that's the truth about you. And you begin to live out that truth, which is actually a lie.
Wow.
You live it out a lie.
Yeah.
You're living out a lie because of what, listen, either it was said about you, either it was done to you. So something brought shame into your life that has now got you to a place where you are not the person God has created you to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Literally, you're operating on the devil's territory.
Yeah. In the psychological space, they call that imposter syndrome.
Come on.
Where you are continuing to say to yourself, nobody's going to want to hear me. Nobody's going to love me. Nobody's going to want me the way that I am. Nobody's going to want me because I'm tall. Nobody's going to want me because I'm short. Nobody's going to want me because I'm black. Nobody's going to want me. And so we live that imposter syndrome, not realizing that what we are doing is we are perpetuating that thought in ourselves.
Come on.
But nobody is, we won't say nobody, but for the most part, the people on the outside are not even seeing you like that.
It's self-defeating thoughts.
Self-defeating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we continue to play this thing over in our head like a record player or a CD player on a consistent basis, and it's continue to be on repeat.
And
but
then
it's not. Go ahead.
I think too, sometimes we buy into those self-defeating thoughts, the imposter, what do you call it?
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. We buy into it so much that because of what's been spoken over us to us, we start to believe those things, and now we kind of lower our expectations so that we won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my expectations were high anyway.
Wow.
So you can't disappoint me.
Yeah.
Shame does that to us.
Yeah.
So we have a question. Miss Ruby wants to know, what about things that we have done to ourselves? We may like to eat, so now our size is not the way we were intended to be. There's a remedy. That's called exercising, and you know, we got to watch the way most of us ladies we know something about that.
Yeah. And I think you go ahead, Pastor O, then I'll come behind you.
No, but once again, what I was going to say is, it could be, shame can be something, like I said, that you have done that now brings a certain stigma in your life. I'll put it this way. You may have been, I'm trying to find the right words. Let's just say you were sexually active when you was young. Okay. And so now, the word that's over your life is, she has whorish ways, or he got whorish ways. And so now it brings a certain level of shame in your life because of the action that you did, that instead of putting the brakes on it, you decide you're going to continue to live it, but you despise what you're doing. Now, I want you guys, you despise it. You hate the word that's now connected to you, but you continue to live it out instead of putting the brakes on it. And that's what we do pertaining to when you perpetrate that own issue in your life. So some things are done by others, and there are some things that you have done. There are some things you have committed that has brought shame into your life.
Yeah. And then even more so, it was because the eating was not just you eating for no reason. You got to find out what was driving, what was driving the behavior. And watch this. There's an internal behavior that drove you to a response. And so now with your response, it has created something that you don't like. And so here it is. Once I find out what drove me there, because we have to always go back to the root. What drove me there? What drove me there? And probably if you go back and do the research, more than likely you're going to find that there was some shame on the inside that you were trying to medicate, if you will. And so because you're trying to medicate either shame or pain, so now you find yourself in the position to where now you are beginning to hate yourself because of something that you were trying to really legitimately take care of. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. And so now here it is. And remember, we find it that shame started just like lying started. You know, shame started in the garden,
right?
Just like fear did. It started in the garden. When we get to the garden, Adam, he's hiding himself, and God says, Adam, where are you? And then he says, I was naked, so I hid myself. And then God says, who told you were naked?
Right.
So shame started because somebody told him or introduced an idea into his thinking that God never introduced.
That's good.
And
God never introduced.
And then his thought process is, I'm naked, so I've got to hide.
Hide myself.
I've got to hide. I'm shamed
I'm shamed.
I'm shamed. This is a shameful situation. I have been uncovered. I have been exposed.
Yeah.
And so many people have been uncovered. So many people have been exposed, and it's brought shame in their life.
And then, go ahead, Cherie.
I was just going to read Nick's. Nick Temple says, here's a doozy. I've been told that because I might be ahead of the curve, it puts a target on my back. That if peers don't like me, it's because I'm smarter than them. I had to have a few rude awakenings to know this was a falsehood.
Wow. And so sometimes, Nick, I'm sure you probably shrunk back.
Yes.
And didn't go into your full potential, because you were being that imposter, saying, "Oh, I'm just going to be quiet because I want to be liked."
I want to be liked.
Yeah.
Women do it a lot. We tend to dummy down to, just so that we can be with this man or just to say we got somebody. It happens.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Just so you can be able to navigate in a space you're supposed to be in.
Come on.
Just so you can be able to sit at a table you're supposed to be sitting at, you shrink back because of your shame.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay, Lay says, many of those things have been instilled in us at home. Words are important. Please feed the children positive thoughts and affirmations. So
true.
Yeah.
So true. Yeah. And the thing I can agree with her pertaining to that is that a lot of shame does come from our parents. A lot of shame does come from what they have said, what they have spoken. And once again, children say, okay, I'm gonna live up to that. So if you continually calling a child ugly, that's what a child would literally live. The ugliness. I mean, some of the teenagers that I remember dealing with going through their golf. Y'all remember that golf? They went through a golf phase in their lives. When you deal with what took place, someone's constantly saying, "You just ugly. You ugly." And so guess what? They lived it out. They lived it out.
Yeah.
In all of that pain, they lived it out. In all of that shame, this is what they're living out. This is their reality.
Man, that's so amazing. I read Fifi, read Kim's. we didn't call her Fifi for so long. We just call it that. She said, especially when things transpire in your childhood, if you experience traumatic situations as a child, it can definitely bring forth shame. Yeah. Bullying from your peers or family, childhood abuse, it makes you shameful.
Yeah.
And you just got to think about that. And now I understand why Jesus was so adamant about if you destroy one of my little ones, then it's better for you to have a rock, big old stone tied around your neck, and you drown into the sea. Because what we do to children in their infancy, it literally programs them. It programs them.
Yeah.
Psychologists call it tabula rasa. They are blank slate. And whatever is written on them, that's what they carry for the majority of their life until they're reprogrammed.
Yeah.
And that's why we had to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Go ahead, read Richard's statement, Cherie.
That shame from our parents was given to them from their parents, and we can trace this all the way back to slavery.
Yeah.
It was learned behavior.
Learned behavior. Yeah.
The sad part about it is we believe we're wrong and that they're right.
Wow.
Something must be wrong with me.
With me.
Because they're an authority figure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. That's good.
Yeah.
We believe what our parents say.
Yeah.
We yield to authority, and so when we yield to that authority, then we say, okay, what they're saying must be right. Not just parents, teachers, adults in the community,
pastors, yeah,
right, mothers in the church, right. Wow.
Nancy Jackson. Nancy, you're looking at a Miracle Jackson. Come on, girl. Wow. She says the quote, "Shut your mouth. What goes on in my house stays in my house." Sexual abuse from ages 4 to 16.
Wow.
Nancy, can I ask you a question pertaining to that? Once again, from what you went through, what transpired out of your life? How did this affect you?
Yeah.
Because we really have to understand what this does to people, man.
How did it affect
you? Yeah.
Okay.
How does this is, man, it's like I said, the damage that it does. The damage that it does to people.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting on her to respond, let's answer Gina Lou's question. When do you move forward and let go and let God?
Yeah.
When?
And that answer is different for everybody. It's different for everybody because you can grow up in the same house, experiencing the exact same thing, but deal with it totally different because your lens is different. And so that differs for everyone. And sometimes it takes because some people internalize it differently. And so for some people, they can just get a revelation from God and just move forward.
Come on.
For some people, they have to have some type of practitioner come in and work through using skills and techniques and things that they learned in school to be able to help them navigate through that space, right? And so some people, yes, some people can let go and let God, and that can just be supernaturally miraculous. But when you look at the story of the 10 lepers, one came back and said thank you and was made whole immediately.
Yeah.
The other 9 were healed as they went. So for everybody, that answer is going to be different.
So there's no cookie cutter answer, Gina.
No, right.
But I do want to hit you with this though, and I love what you said, and this is what I would say. When we're exposed to the truth, and when we believe the truth.
Yes.
When we're exposed
and
to
those
the truth,
moments, so those moments are different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happen different, but that's when it happened. That's when you can let go. When you're exposed to the truth
and you believe it.
Believe the truth.
Yeah. So you have to internalize the truth just like you internalize that lie.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay. So here's Nancy is answering your question, Pastor O. She says the effects of the abuse has resulted in failed relationships, looking for love in the wrong places, depression, suicide attempts.
Wow. And that's why we're looking at a miracle.
Yes.
That's why we're looking at a miracle.
Well, here, girl.
Wow. That's you're still here, Nancy.
Amen.
Again, drugs. Yeah. Just to be able to cope in life, I'm sure. Just to be able to silence the memories, right? I was there. That's why I dealt with alcoholism, you know, to be able just to silence the voices in my head. And here's the thing, that God is so gracious. He's so gracious that he can take us. Yes, ma'am. But God,
yes,
he can take even those experiences that we had, turn them from trauma to testimony, and then use it for his glory. He can take all of that. So even with that, you are enough. We are enough.
Yes.
There is nothing that we encounter. And I think that if you will realize, nothing we've gone through, as bad as it was, has taken God by surprise. Nothing. He knew and he knows what he's going to do. And he knows how he's going to use it for his glory.
Yes.
That's powerful to me.
Yeah. So he can take what man did through their sin, and then take it and use it and turn it around and use it for his glory.
For his glory.
So man did the damage.
Come on.
But God said, I can even take the damage.
Jesus.
And use it. God.
You don't have to walk around with your head hung down in shame. Matter of fact, stuff you went through, the stuff you're dealing with, the abuse and whatever else, you'll be able to look at somebody and see they're dealing with that same thing. And because you've gone through it and you've come out,
yes,
now you can help somebody else, pull them out of that. And maybe they don't have to go through it as much as you did or suffer as much as you did because you were the sacrificial lamb, if you will.
Right.
And so it's all for his glory.
Think about what he told Peter. He said, Peter said, Satan has desired you.
Yes.
That he might sift you as wheat. Look, he's already letting them know, hey, Satan wants to take advantage of. Now here's Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
He is the God of the universe. He has all the power in the world to stop this. He's greater than Satan. He has all the ability and power in the world to stop this. He said, but Peter, you know what? I pray for you.
Yeah.
Now you gonna tell me that the devil wants to kill me?
Yeah.
And the only thing you're gonna tell me is you pray for me? You can't stop him, Jesus? Aren't you the almighty Jesus?
I am.
The miracle performing Jesus? The eye-opening Jesus? The death changing Jesus? You can't stop him. The only thing you're going to tell me is you pray for me? But watch what he says. He said, but after you have recovered,
go back.
Strengthen your brothers. So God, in his sovereignty, God, this doesn't make any sense. God in his sovereignty will allow us to go through situations that really are designed to kill us. But God says, I'll take it and I'll empower you with it so you can go back and strengthen somebody else.
Yeah, you're going to be a mighty reckoning force for the kingdom. We got a lot of comments coming through. I'm trying to catch up.
Go ahead.
Growing up, I was talked down most of my youth by my parents, family members, and friends. It put so much fear and shame in my life. Fear stopped me from being the person God wanted me to be. Now I know God made me wonderfully and he loves me. Let me see if I can catch some of these other. That's good.
Wow, that's good.
I'm so glad that you came into the knowledge of what you were supposed to be.
Glory to God.
That was one that Victoria's put up that she talked about a child being called a sissy, and now that child is actually living it out, going towards a gay lifestyle.
Let me try to find them in order. Nancy said, I had to forgive you're looking at a Miracle Jackson. She had to forgive her abuser on his deathbed for the suffering for the suffering to stop. God dealt with him. Okay. So you forgave him. Even, hey, that's big of you. We thank God for that.
Wow. Glory to God.
Dina 5 says, what we go through is never for us. It is that someone else may be saved through each one of us. Each one teach one. Sandra says, I was adopted into a family that was darker than I. I was red bone with green eyes. They always said I thought I was better than them and clearly did not care for me. Thank God I had loving parents, but it was hard growing up without the family love. Looking back, I know God had my back. In the world, there's still that prejudice from your own people. But
wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me see. What's the name of the person?
Victoria Thomas.
Victoria
Thomas.
Was she before these or after?
I think she was before. She says, I'm praying with my sister friend now because her husband always called their son a sissy because he was a mama's boy. He's struggling now with his identity and being gay.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
He was shamed.
Yeah, he was shamed into having a bond with his mama. Shamed because he had a bond with his mama.
So now you're living out what was created in your mind by someone else.
Right.
You're living out.
The power of a father's word. We on our way to Father's Day. The power of a father's words. There you go. When a power of a father's words or a father's silence can affect us in such a major way.
Identity.
That's the father gives the identity, mother gives the esteem.
Yeah.
And Wenda says, I forgave my biological dad and stepdad for not being the father they should have been. I'm in therapy due to my insecurities of myself and how I just now beginning to love Wenda at the age of 54. Prime example of what I was just saying. Yeah. The father sets the tone for identity, right? And so, you know, it gets to the place to where people get saved and they believe that Jesus saves, but it's difficult for them to believe that God is their father.
It's difficult because they didn't experience it. They're not
because they didn't experience it as a child.
Yeah.
Because at the foundation, it set the stage for them of what a father means. And so we have to be patient with people as they're going through that process, because they have to get to the place to where, as Pastor O said, it has to become a revelation to them. It has to become, they have to believe that God is their father. It's not just enough to believe that Jesus is Lord and Savior. We have to also believe that since Jesus is Lord, I'm a joint heir with him.
Yeah.
And now, just like he is Jesus' father, he's my father too.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Jesus. And the words they speak over you don't always manifest immediately. My father spoke positively over me, and it didn't manifest until he died.
Wow.
But the seed was planted. The seed was planted.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
and now let's go to Jesus. Hebrews 12:2.
That's good.
For the joy that was set before him, despising what?
The shame.
He endured the cross, despising the shame. Yeah.
He endured the cross.
Despising the shame. So he understands what you're going through because he himself went through it.
Thank you, Lord.
He despised, and listen, that's what many of you are going through right now. You're despising what was done to you. Look what was done to him at the cross. Look what he lost. Listen, friends abandoned him. He was mocked. Literally, he was butt naked on the cross, so he was exposed.
Right.
So he dealt with that shit. He despised what he went through. And many of you are despising what you're going. And you know people that are despising what they're going through.
Right. And I like what Lawrence is saying. Lawrence says, he's speaking of an experiment that was done by Dr. Masaru Emoto, right? And so he had these different containers of rice sitting in water. And one, there was complete silence. One, negative things were spoken to. One, positive things were spoken to. And in that experiment, the one that had silence ended up rotting faster than the one that was spoken to negatively. And so that the one where there was silence, where nothing was said to it, it rotted faster than the one that received the negative words.
Wow.
So this is a strategy for dealing with shame. Is don't be silent about it.
Come on.
Don't be silent.
Don't be silent about it. Don't be silent about it, because silence is a destroyer. Silence is a destroyer. And when you begin speaking, going back to what Pastor Rich said on last week, before you open your mouth, all I want to hear is a testimony.
Is a praise report. Just give me.
All I want to hear is a praise report.
Yeah.
So what you begin to speak to your situation, make sure it is speaking life to it, and speaking. And you can start with saying, "I am enough."
I am enough.
I am enough.
Yeah. I am not alone. Because of Christ, I am loved.
Yes.
I am not blank. Because of Christ, I am blank.
But can y'all listen, this is what I love. Just say the first two words of what you just did.
Come on.
Hold up. Who? What?
I am.
No, we missed it. I am. Hold on. Who is the I am?
The great
I am.
So I am says that I am
enough.
That tells it right there.
I'm made in his image and his likeness, in his similitude. I am enough.
I am. Come on.
That's where you start.
God says, I am that I am. I am all that you need. I am self-sufficient. So guess what? I am says that you are enough. God has spoken. The Father has spoken over your life.
Yeah.
And the Father has said, you are enough.
And so we got to learn how to tune out what the enemy's saying. I don't know why we always seem to grab that and run with what the enemy spoke as opposed to what God spoke. Let's switch that thing around.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sick because of Christ. I'm healed.
Yeah.
I am healed. I am not sick.
Yeah. So we got a homework assignment. We got a homework assignment. When I teach my life coaching class, this is the thing that I teach them to do. Is you need to write. I need you to write. This is what I want you to do. I'm not just talking right now. This is what you're gonna have to do throughout the rest of this week as we are working, as we are going through this series of I Am Enough. I need you to get 7 index cards or 7 sticky notes, and I want you to put 7 different on each card. Put a different I am statement. Put a different I am statement. I am love.
Come on.
I am blessed. I am an overcomer. I am victorious. Whatever it is, whatever you need to reprogram in your mind. I am beautiful. I am loved. Whatever you need to reprogram in your mind, I want you to write because it all starts with the I am.
Yes.
So Paul says, by the grace of God, I am what I am. Right? So we're gonna take 7 index cards, and on each index card, you're going to put an I am statement. And I want you to put it on your mirror or somewhere that you're going to see it every day. And I want you to make sure you confess that over the next 7 days.
Can we go a little further just to make it fun?
Come on.
Take a picture of it and post it.
Yes.
Hashtag I am, hashtag the faith room.
Come on.
Love it.
Come on. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Woo! Y'all got it?
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
7 index cards. I am statements on them. Index cards are sticky notes. Take a picture of them. You post them somewhere where you can see them.
Yes.
And then take a picture of them. Post them on.
Hashtag I am, hashtag the faith
room.
Yes.
Yes, my God.
Yes. Oh, my. Yes.
Thank you, Lord. That silence is a great destroyer. But when you start speaking,
they already putting them in here. So y'all start them here to your cards or to your sticky notes. Pastor Miller says, God told Moses, tell them I am sent you. God is whatever you need. I am your provider. I am your peace. I am your joy. Listen, you need peace. God says, I am that. I am. You need some love. He says, I am that. I am. You need forgiveness. He says, I am that. I am. So whatever you need him to be, God says, I am that.
Yes.
I am.
I'm about to lose it because Jesus.
I am that.
Listen.
I am.
In John chapter 8, okay, we got to go. We'll talk about it later. We'll
get back with y'all tomorrow. Yes.
I am.
You're whatever I need you to be. You're the I am you are. Yes.
You're the I am.
I am you. Yes. Listen.
My God. Pastor O.
I have everything I need.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, I have everything I need. I have everything I need. Why? The great I am provides for me. The great I am provides for me. Y'all need to go listen to that song. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, whoever I need you to be.
Yes.
God.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
And because you are whoever I need you to be, I'm one in you.
Come
and
on.
You are in me, so I am.
That. I am. All right, y'all. Listen, before we go, I want to remind you that we do have our own Cash App, where our own cash tag account now. Thank you so much to those of you who have already started sewing. We were able to bless Charity, our guest on yesterday, send her to lunch in good fashion because of your generosity. And so we want to continue to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, if you want to, whenever you feel like it, you ain't got to wait on us to announce it. Just already know our cash tag is $the_Faith_Room1. Again, this is going to help us bless our guests. It's going to help us with the ladies' room. It's going to help us with the barber shop. And we're going to be doing community outreach because we are an entity now. So it's time for us to start giving back. Then there are some days we want to bless some of you that come into the Faith Room from time to time. And so this just provides us a venue to be able to do that in a more excellent way. Amen. So don't forget that. And we'll be back tomorrow to dive into I Am Enough. Remember your homework assignment. 7 different I am statements. You want them during the course of the week, or how do you want them to do it?
No,
one a day?
Every day, say all 7 of them.
Say all 7 of them every day.
Every day over the next 7 days. And just see what that does for your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a blessing. If you say it, you'll see it.
My God.
All right.
Sasha Reed, we got to go.
Okay. I'm just saying. Listen, we are the Faith Room. We are real people with real concerns, getting real solutions. Until the next time, you guys. Pastor K, throw them 2 fingers up.
2 fingers to the north.
All
We're
right.
out of here.
See y'all.
Love you.